Hey folks, welcome to another video with me, Andy. So today we're going to be tying a nice little nymph. I actually saw this nymph for the first time on, I think it was Carl Nixon's Instagram. I just really liked it. I thought it was a really nice little nymph, so I started doing one myself. So the hook I've got in the vise here, this is a trout line. This is the ST320 in a number 14. And we've also got this is a 2.8mm black tungsten slotted bead. The thread I'm going to be using is a Textreme 60 in black. I'm just going to start this thread just behind the bead. Just going to cinch it up there and just secure it in with a few thread wraps. I'm going to grab my scissors and just trim off the excess thread. Now I'm just going to take the thread about halfway down. I'm going to apologise now because I can't remember the name of this. This is basically tinsel that comes on a hank, but I can't remember the name of it, and it's like a UV purple. I just can't remember the name of it. I'm sure somebody will know out there and they'll be able to find it. But this is what I'm using for the tail. So I'm just going to trim a very small length of it off because I don't need much. What I do is I actually moisten it just so the ends stick together while you're tying it in, and I then just do a loose turn and then cinch down and just tie it back down the hook shank. All you need to do, well, what I do is I just trim the length. You don't need much. That should do nicely. I've actually tied too much excess in there, so I'm just going to quickly trim off those little few stalks. That's fine. Now, what I'm going to tie in next is some copper wire. This is the Troutline Perdigon wire in copper, so I'm just going to tie this in on the side and then just take my thread wraps and just tidy up the body. Now I'm going to widen this thread just in touch and turns up to the bead and then do some loose wraps back down to the bottom. For the body on mine, I'm going to be using some, which way around does it go? This way around, some grey squirrel. I've got like a grey squirrel patch, and I just basically cut the fur off and put it into a bag. Now, it can be a bit of a bitch to dub on this grey squirrel, but it's not too bad. It can be every now and then. Like got like a bit of clump there. I don't want that clump. So just dub it on to your thread. That's dubbed on nicely. And now just start at the back. Just wind forward. What I find as I go forward, I start kind of crisscrossing like kind of going over the previous wrap slightly more, just so you get like that tapered effect as you go up the body. I just need a little bit more here. What you'll find sometimes is the grey squirrel goes on really like a thick kind of clump onto your thread, which is what I don't want. And now just tapering this. And that should do fine. Very, very simple fly, this one, by the way. And now grab your copper wire and just come up. It's not really the best turn, that one. And just come up the body in even turns until you get right behind the bead, and you can just I just basically go over the top and then one in front, and I'll do this 4 or 5 times. So one over the wire, one in front, do that maybe 4, 5, 6 times. And then just helicopter, wiggle, whatever you wire out, and it'll snap. Now before I continue, what I want to do is I want this to be like a nice scruffy fly. So the beauty of this grey squirrel, it really scruffs up nicely. I'm going to try and get under the body there nicely, really scruff it up. Because I find the scruffier these flies are, the better they seem to work, and look how that's lovely and scruffy now. And last but not least, I've actually got this dubbing out on my desk. I did get it on my desk, I'm just being blind. Is I'm going to be using some Troutline Hairs Plus, and this is basically black with, it's got like UV running through it. It looks really nice. So you can see there you go, you can see the UV on there. It's lovely. And we're just going to dub some of this onto our thread. You don't need much, just a little piece or a little amount, whatever you want to use, whichever word you want to use. So we'll just dub that on. And just come over and create a nice collar. So there's your black collar. The fly is pretty much finished. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab some varnish. Have my whip finish tool. 5-turn whip finish. And then trim off your excess. So very easy, simple, effective bug for, you could use this for grayling and trout, to be fair. They're both going to take it and they're both going to like it. So thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.